And
cool.
obviously she laid on it and pressed the button to switch it. I'm like, where's my mouse? Oh, I get it. Oh, by the way, we're live.
Are we?
We are.
What?
I
Wait,
broadcast.
what? What?
We're
Huh?
broadcasting. Yes. So
So
yesterday
everybody.
in the mail, I got something really fun.
Uh-oh.
What did you get? Oh, you finally got your hauler?
Yeah,
Huh.
I still got to assemble it and you know do all the part shaving and painting
Mm,
and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
hmm
But I finally have it in my hands. Came yesterday in the mail last night. But yeah, so like there's all kinds of things I've learned about 3D printing because I've been doing research and stuff, and it's
hmm
like it is a cheaper way to get things done, but there's a lot of after work. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
from what I've seen, it kind of depends on the machine,
Mm-hmm.
well,
as
you
well as the
okay?
printer,
So
their skill with printing and
yeah,
slicing the sculpt.
well
A lot of other
the
variables.
thing that a lot of people run into is the over stuff, like what they call the stringing, which is like like little strings that happen from it.
Yeah.
But there's also what you call layer lines,
hmm
um, and those layer lines, they need to be removed. You know what I mean?
hmm
So it's like I was doing
Yeah, to
research on the
smooth that
ways
out.
to yeah.
I mean,
So how
that's
to do
why. That's why I went with my resin printer instead of that one.
Well, they got, what do they call it? Was it? We came with your printer. What am I thinking of? The
The what?
curing thing, because
Yeah,
I know.
you have to you technically clean it with isopropyl alcohol to
hmm
wash away all the residue.
So I know there's a process
Yeah.
for filament as well, similar to that, that
Mm-hmm.
smooths it out. But the downside with that, from what I've seen, is it makes it real shiny, and if you don't want that, then that's kind of a problem.
Depends on what
Uh,
resin you take.
yeah, and
yeah.
then
You have matte resin. You have transparent resin.
right. No, I'm talking about the filament kind, not
Oh, the
the
filament. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
And
more like
then,
plastic. Yeah.
but I've seen too, like the size of the fitting for the extruder, that
Mm-hmm.
for the filament printing, you can get like a really fine one,
Yep.
and you tweak it, the settings just right, and it will actually make the layer lines pretty much invisible. I mean, you can still see it if you look really 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 close, but you
Mm-hmm.
can get it
Right.
down really small. I've seen like some people, you can get like done really really well.
Yep.
um but like I said,
Like
it just depends on how you set things and your experience and all that.
Hey,
Steve,
Darth Fat Ass, welcome, brother.
Steve Died uses that type of 3D printer
mm,
to print pieces for his motocross bikes and stuff.
hmm
And
nice.
pieces, yeah.
Yeah, I was obviously I couldn't see the layer lines in any pictures and stuff like that. So
hmm
like once I had it
yeah,
in my
it's really
hand,
hard to
I'm
see
like,
like that on
yeah,
online stuff, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and online
yeah.
pictures.
I realized I got to go and buy some tools
hmm
to fine tune all this stuff, and then
Yep.
so there's a little bit of a learning curve for me to make it perfect.
hmm
But I got a little bit of time before. What's up,
Well, all
Brian?
right.
What's up, man?
What's up,
Hey,
man?
Brian,
What's up, Scott?
Brian,
So, bud,
I'm gonna
good to see
brag
you.
and see.
What's up, Drew? Good to
Do
see
you
you,
have
man.
yours yet? Do you have yours?
Uh, as a matter of fact, I was gonna ask you the same
Oh my
thing.
gosh, that's awesome!
Oh,
Whoa, heck yeah, dude.
It's what up, Sim?
What's up?
Hey, man. Belated happy birthday, man.
Thank
Finally got
you.
a chance
I
to
didn't realize it was your birthday. Happy birthday,
a
bud.
couple
Yeah,
days
it
ago
was
it
last
was. Yeah.
Saturday,
uh,
May
Oh,
1st.
really?
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I got a chance to wish my happy birthday, like over like the twatter, but I'm
Mm.
finally able to actually say it
Thanks,
in
buddy.
person. You know what's
Yeah.
interesting
That's so cool, man.
is
Wait,
taking a
wait, hold on,
close
I love
look
the
at
hold it
this
close to the
guns.
camera.
stuff.
Hold that close to the camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. Love those guns. That's so cool.
I know it's so neat.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was really curious about was like the texture,
Mm.
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've never like fucked with anything that was made with a 3D printer before.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we should shoot George a link. I promised him that if I was gonna show this thing
He
off.
said he was doing something else. I'll drop him a link, but he had a
Okay.
he's got another show that he's doing on his own channels right now. So
Mm.
Oh, okay. I just want him to know that we got him covered. So I'm thinking like okay, like obviously this is something you're going to want to hit with like some primer.
Yeah,
It's
gotta file down the layer lines and then
yeah. I
primer
mean,
it
you
like
do
with the
that.
filler, primer it with filler, and then polycoat clear after painting it, and there's
Yeah, because I'm a mini painter myself. Not I wouldn't consider myself a serious one.
Mhm.
I
But
don't have like
you've done
I'm not
quite
like
a few.
Eddie. Yeah, I mean like when
Mm.
I was 15 years old, I was like or 13 actually. Like I was like heavily into Dungeons and Dragons, and basically helped me survive junior high school. And I'm not used to painting on plastic, but I recently painted 128 minis that were like from like this Conan box set.
Wow.
Right? Like Monolith came out with like this awesome like
That sounds
Conan
amazing.
skirmish game. It was, but it was a motherfucker because I'm like my friends are like, okay, when are we playing this thing? I'm like, when I'm done with the minis. I finished the last mini, boom, COVID lockdown.
Wow.
But yeah, look at that, man. Isn't that cool? It's
Yes,
really, really
very
neat.
cool.
Dude, how's the hauler look?
Yeah, I can't wait to see it painted.
the hauler looks really good. It's hard to see the detail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same here.
The rockets have to be trimmed up and glued on still. But
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Huh?
The texture is really interesting. Like that was the main thing I was actually kind of interested in because I'm like, what is it like to actually paint these things? But then I'm thinking, like, obviously, you're not going to paint directly on this. You're going to want to hit it with some primer first. But
yeah, you want to use like I was doing a lot of research on how to finish up the model. Cause I've never done one either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they pretty much suggest filing the layer lines first with a fine, like delicate file, and then wet sand it. And then they say hit it with primer, with filler, wet sand it again, hit it with primer one more time, and then paint it in polycoat.
Wow.
Right, because of course you've got like Warhammer peeps that have been doing this for like a while now.
Right.
That have been like 3D modeling their own minis, and then of course if they have people that have 3D printers themselves, all they have to do is send them the file,
right?
And then they can print it themselves. The technology is just sick. And of course really our own Sim is I went to school for 3D modeling.
I didn't know that. That's really cool. I know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew he had. He said he had like a pretty good like base work experience. I talked to him about that before, but I didn't realize he went to school for it. That's really cool.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Yeah, I have a bachelor. I have a bachelor's degree in
Nice.
3D animation and modeling for movies and video games.
That's so amazing. Cool. Dude, you gotta cook up. Oh, I'm not telling you what to do, obviously, but it would be great if you could cook up like some minis for the Doc Salem Blood Hunt crossover.
It is in my mind, but right now I have some pages to deal with, and after that I'm doing Tales in an Adverse. I want to do the entire crew.
Well, just curious.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. Because I want to build up the collectibles. Because eventually I want a board game. I want a tabletop game with it.
That's badass. Heck yeah.
Of the Nadverse, yeah. But first I'll build up the collectibles. Like I'm even checking to have like the ship done.
Nice.
So you can have movable parts because it has different forms.
Oh, you mean it changes? Like it like goes into like battle mode or flight mode or stealth mode or that's great. Mode.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, especially like we were playing the game, now you're just like flying around, but you get in a battle and then you pull a card or whatever, it says, okay, this is a battle, so then you transform into ship mode and go to town. That's really cool.
Dude, we're gonna be able to do this with all of our characters.
Yeah.
Right? And create basically like a
I'm planning on getting one myself.
Like it's one of the things I was trying to tell people is like if people start to do the miniature thing, and a whole bunch of people do it, we could all like just decide to put a quick little game together for free and give it out for people to play with our little miniature, like a little versus thing for free. Like, here's how to play.
That's the thing too.
Play
like
with our miniatures.
I've seen videos that where they talk about like how much a miniature is, It's like 10 cents, with the cost, the printing and the design. Really, I mean, it's because like there's people that sell them. I've seen too where they'll sell the files, like 15 or 50 files for like $15. So I think it's pretty cool that it's cost effective. So we could definitely, I think, do like like you said, just like a bunch of free miniatures, and everybody can play. And
you make them available for you on your campaign. People can have them.
Yep.
Right.
Do expansion packs and stuff.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
I just had to mute myself because I'm stuffing it.
The whole miniature thing and all that kind of stuff in games and all that's fun, but I mean, it's like I've been running into issues with cost and time costs. You know what I mean?
Right. Time is gonna be a factor on things.
I've spread myself. I've spread myself so thin. You know what I mean? And right now, I just dumped another extra grand on shipping costs for Captain Love stuff because of the shipping flub. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm trying really hard to not be discouraged. You know what I mean? Because I'm facing what seems to be an exceptional challenge. Because I mean, I can run down the list of things. Like the whole issues with my artist. Right in the middle, he just decided to screw me over. And then and then the new artist I have is nowhere near up to speed. He's doing a great job artwork wise, but I mean, it's May now. You know what I mean? I should have another issue of Captain Love to sell right now, and I don't, and I can't control that because it's like I can't like force him to draw faster. You know what I mean? And that's a serious problem because I mean my business model can't sustain a 24-page book once a year. You know what I mean? That's just not sustainable. So so I'm feeling very discouraged because it is really hard to to do all this stuff. You know what I mean? And on top of that, I got to make a living. And on top of that, I have other things that I have commitments to. You know what I mean? It's just,
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And I know it's like you start thinking about, minis and bookmarks and baseball cards and all this other stuff.
But for minis, for minis, I'd like to add you could easily shop like a 3D artist. They don't have to be like all time famous, right? So you can find one of those good 3D artists between 150 to 250 for a regular sculpture in 3D, and between 500 to 1,000 if you want something more complicated. But yeah, anywhere between $150 to $1,000, you can get your modeled, depending on how complex you want it and for what you want it.
And I was thinking, I would love to have at least one of these done by a professional, semi-professional.
I mean, the thing is like Sim just said, like like $1,500,000 or whatever, right? I mean, I'm losing money on these campaigns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, most of us aren't making much.
We all are.
I'm losing money. I'm spending thousands of dollars so people can read books. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's also to lay down a foundation, brother.
Well, I'm feeling very discouraged because my my last campaign, still hasn't even reached the $6,000 mark, and it's been sitting for a while. You know what I mean? And so it's if people don't want Captain Love, you know what I mean? I got to figure out something. You know what I mean? It's so. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling too well. Also, so it might be like the fact that I'm like actually feeling kind of sick because I had the vaccination yesterday, and it's kind of messing, you know what I mean?
That's brutal, supposedly, yeah.
But I seriously am feeling really discouraged. I mean, that's
understandable.
The CG community, you know what I mean, is behind me. The 40 or 50 people that actually give a crap. You know what I mean? But the rest of the community doesn't give a crap. You know what I mean? So so it's like I don't know what to think. Maybe conventions will change the nature of things, but conventions are a big, huge time and financial commitment on top of that and everything else. And you know what I mean? I'm just shelling out money and I'm not getting it in. You know what I mean? And it's killing me. I mean, I have the Heartless series.
But like
also,
Brian's saying, it's a long-term investment. And
It's a
lately
marathon.
lately you've been more invested into the your next IP
Yeah.
than promoting
That,
Captain
believe it or
Love. To
not,
be
that's
honest,
moving faster.
Yeah.
The next IP is moving faster. The reason why I haven't been promoting Captain Love is because I'm still like, I just got page 7, and we
Dude,
are in May. Okay.
Consider this:
So
Robert Kirkman didn't become famous because of Invincible.
I don't
Right?
give a crap about
He
famous,
became
man.
famous.
I just want to
No,
make
no.
a
I
living.
mean, I'm saying like he became established. He became like big as a as a comic book writer, not because of his main book, but because of like this little side project that he was doing, called The Walking Dead. Right, where he would just like in the first issue was like, I don't know where this is going. I'm making this up as I go along. This was a side project. That's what blew up.
Do you remember?
So sometimes it's not. Go ahead, Sim.
It's not just a side project. That's the main project that he was trying to pitch from the get-go, and he was getting refused until he lied, saying that he was he was gonna spread like slowly hints that it was an alien invasion behind the entire freaking zombie outbreak.
Really? I didn't know
And
he lied
that's
like
why
that.
he
That's
lied.
From outer
He lied to
space.
Valentino and all the guys until one of them went like, "Hey, Gaiman, there's no alien." He goes, "Yeah, I lied." It's already a
And that's the
fucking
plot
hit.
from
Yeah.
Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Yeah.
Clever motherfucker, man. That's right. I forgot. Dude, I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
That's why I said that the story's even funnier because of it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Well, yeah. So I'm sorry if I seem like I'm like bummed out or whatever.
That's all right, man.
That's cool, man. I understand.
I'm feeling heavily discouraged because I seriously,
Yeah, sometimes
I
have my
I
down
thought this
days too with
campaign-
all this.
Yeah, I thought with this last one, I thought that I would make more and like it would start becoming self-sustainable. You know what I mean? But it's just money out. You know what I mean? And it's and it would be, I would, if there was more glory in that, you know what I mean? Like people were buying it and loving it and whatever. But I'm just running. I mean, the post office screwed me and cost me another $1,000. You know what I mean? And it's like, and so that's more time. And it's like, I got to get those books out. And it's like, I got to find time to get those books out. I got clients calling me all day long because, everybody, because the world's coming back together. You know what I mean? All my clients are now starting to blow my phone up. And I'm like, no, I don't want to take that gig. You know what I mean? It's, and it's, but then they're like, oh, we got this emergency and you can only person that can do it. And it's like, and I mean, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll take the gig because I got to pay for these comic books. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right. Yeah, but I'm sure there are times in a marathon. I've never run one. That's for damn sure. You can tell from this gut. But I'm sure there's times in a marathon where people like hit this point where they're just like, "Oh, fuck this shit.
Yep.
This is some bullshit, man."
It's right before the second wind. It's like you're like, everything's about to go. Everything's about to go. Your legs feels like it's heavy as hell, and you feel like no, and then you're like, oh yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I have my down days where
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, is this all this worth it? Because like, I mean, I haven't made any profit, but I'm enjoying the craft. I'm enjoying making fans and meeting people and making friends and and learning like how to improve myself as a writer. And then, but like I said, I haven't made any profit on either all 3 issues so far. But it is slowly growing. I can see that. And there are days where I'm just like, okay, well, how much longer can I do this? How much more money can I put in before it's like, this is just not going to work? It's not going to grow the way I want it, and I should just walk away. But, and I had that, I've been kind of thinking, kind of like Drew a little bit there too, where he's like, well, what if there's something else I can make? Maybe the Chaotic Flux just is a little too complex right now for people to jump into on, an explosion kind of thing, like making 6 figures or even like 5 figures, that maybe there's another project I can come up with that is easier for people to, like I said, to jump into and take that ride, which I am working on something now that I plan to do here in the near future. But at the same time, I still have faith in Chaotic Flux that it's gonna, get bigger. But like you said, it's just slowly building a little bit,
Well,
building a little more.
I can't stop Captain Love. I got so much money invested in it.
Right.
I got.
Well, that's kind of right now.
Let's just take a minute here, just 1 minute, okay? And turn to the chat and go, "Hey, welcome to the show, Darth Badass, Goldberg E, and Sugar Chris.
What's
up, Sugar?
Darth Badass.
Sugar Chris, Darth Badass. What up to everybody in the chat? I know we're all pissing and moaning about our personal problems. You don't want to hear this shit.
It just sucks, dude. You know what
I mean? Know.
It's just I don't know what the answer is. I mean, I think okay, well, I could spend more time on.
Yeah, a lot of this is trial and error.
And that kind of stuff. Like I mean, I can try and kiss butt with people that have bigger followings and try to ride their fan base. You know what I mean? There's all these things that I could try and do. You know what I mean? But the thing is how much effort is that going to take? And then what if it doesn't pay off after all that effort? And it's I'm just. I mean, and then I got to think, okay, is this just, is Captain Love just not conducive to this? Captain Love does really well at conventions, you know what I mean? And it does really well on the shelves. It flew right off the shelves when it went on shelves, you know what I mean? So I know it's a great story. I know it's a great series. It's just,
what's our biggest problem?
Maybe crowdfunding is just is just turning to shit, and it's not the way to go anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, what's our biggest problem? I think it's exposure, right?
No,
because we're in a bubble.
Well, getting exposure. I used to get a lot of exposure, and it still didn't change things. You know what I mean? Now,
but I'm talking about exposure to like different fan bases. Right, I'm talking about exposure to like to people that are in sort of like.
That's why I'm doing that indie showcase digital comic that we're doing. Brian's in it. Scott. So if you want, let me know.
So it's not so much exposure as it is it's endorsement, right? Endorsement.
Oh well, that helps.
Sales. No, it's
right.
I mean, you can get all the exposure in the world. You know what I mean? I could sit there and plaster ads and get my stuff in front of thousands and thousands of people. But unless somebody who they respect says you need to get this book and check it out, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain people that I've reached out to, like Rob Burnett, for instance. I think his network, his fans, for instance, if they became aware of us. And I know that there are other people in the scene that have made outreaches to like geeks and gamers, and they're not interested, but yeah, I mean, I think that endorsements obviously are the strongest thing. You have a lot of people that just have their fans who are stans that will like just buy anything that they say, like, hey, go check this out, right? And
that's what feeds CG. Just so we know, CG.
Oh yeah.
Totally, just about everything that goes off of CG is based off of endorsement. I mean, we've sold a lot of books on this show for other people because we've endorsed them. You know what I mean? I mean, we've done quite a bit for other people. And then the most sales I've made have been through endorsement from other people as well. So.
And don't think that goodwill that you build is not a very powerful investment, because it really is. It comes back to you. People don't forget that shit when you do them a solid and you promote their book.
Yeah, well, I don't do it for the reach around. You know what I mean? So.
No, that's not the reason. I'm saying, like, I mean, this is the thing that I discovered in life. Like, I have a friend who's just like, man, I always do shit for people, and they don't ever do shit for me. They never do nothing for me. And I'm just thinking, dude, you're going about this the wrong way. If you do good deeds for people with no expectation of a reward, you will be rewarded. But if you're doing it with an expectation of a reward, then it may not go the way that you quite planned.
Well, before we go further down this digression, why don't we take a look here at Scott's book, Chaotic Flux.
Great idea.
Now he just went in demand last month in the middle of the month, and he is at 4740. So we
is it
need
pixelated for everyone or just me?
Yeah, it is
yeah,
for me
it is.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, for me too.
Let me just give it a second.
Dude, you're getting close to. Dude, you're gonna hit 50. You're gonna hit 50.
50.
50. And remember von Klaus when we were telling him, bro,
Yeah,
you're
he's
gonna hit
almost
100.
there. Yeah,
he's
he'll
almost
hit 100.
there.
Yeah, he'll do it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great for him.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean, like the 6-gun campaign. We haven't even cracked 5 yet, but it's still the first 30 days, and also I haven't been giving it the hard push because I'm waiting for like some of the finished art to come in, and then I can start giving it the hard push.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I obviously, if I was, pitching these books before, crowdfunding them before, then I would. I mean, right now, I would be hella nervous on top of things because my artist is going so slow. You know what I mean? I would be in a state of panic.
Yeah, but as long as you keep the backers updated, they don't mind, dude. Look at me.
It's true.
Like I extended the the fulfillment, right? Because I extended the book because I listened to people saying, like, some fans were saying, yeah, but it's like 60-70% of old stuff, not a lot of new stuff. And I'm like, okay. So I went to balance it out it went from 64 to 80 page. Right?
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, so we're also going to get the old colors redone and we're going to go to February. But we're a bit behind because it's taken longer than planned, the colors, and we're new to dealing with this and working together. And, stuff happened. My colors have day jobs too.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
except that I have my business.
What's up, guys?
What's up,
man?
Ace? I with my business model, I pay for everything up front, and then push the finished product. You know what I mean? I mean, I could try it the other way, but I just don't. I mean, I'm not gonna make people wait a year for a 24-page book. You know what I mean? I just I not only am I discouraged, I'm feeling a little ashamed. You know what I mean? I've had people write me like crazy. Well, when's chapter 3 coming? You know what I mean? They're like, where's like, because I have people that have invested in the whole, all 6 chapters and the final thing. Brian's one of them. I've had people put the whole investment down. They're all like, well, where's the next book? You know what I mean? Where's the next book? You know what I mean? And it's like, what am I mean, it's like, I got a new artist, and the new artist, I can't make him go faster. I'm wondering like what the deal is with that, in my mind. I mean, it's like is the mistake, not like having an artist that I can engage with directly, like Doodle Bags is doing a great job. He's delivering things fast. You know what I mean?
Well, some people are slow. Some people are slow. Like,
well, that's not. Just say, like, when you say some people are slow, that's fine. You know what I mean? But I got to make a business decision if he's going to be slow, which means that I'm going to have to find probably another artist if he's going to be that slow, because there's no way I could keep the book sustainable. You know what I mean? That's not pro. That's not pro. You know what I mean? That is not professional. It's not a good business model to let it go that slow. So,
well, I mean, we're all hoping that we can get to the point where we can get our books maybe quarterly, right? That seems realistic to me.
Yep.
I'd be happy with 2 books a year, honestly. If I could do 2 books a year, me too. That's something I'm working towards.
I might be even a little bit more upset because right now is prime time for having a book to sell. You know what I mean? For
There's
a campaign.
Also so many books. Oh my god. Right. So keep that in mind too. That people are hurting for cash. Right. There's real suffering.
There's been a lot of books coming out lately.
And at the same time, 1 billion books. Now, the fact that the field is getting so flooded, that's fine. Because the wheat will be separated from the chaff. The cream will rise to the top. And, we pride ourselves as a community as not being gatekeepers, gate openers, right? So we've been opening that gate, and, it's been like Black Friday at I forget Walmart or something.
Yeah.
But that's fine, because this is a genuine meritocracy. And I think that, we're seeing some really, really great looking books. Some books not so much, but also then you see people developing, growing. They're coming out with like their third book, their fourth book. Maybe their first book didn't look that hot, but their second looked better. Now their third's starting to look really good and professional. So it's the scene is a living thing. It's always changing. It's always morphing. As for the crowdfunding model, I think we all know that this isn't sustainable. That at some time we're going to have to shift to another model, but that's fine too.
We all know we have to build up.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, so like all that negative talk aside,
it's not all negative, but
let's give the video here a watch.
Yeah.
The sci-fi saga Chaotic Flux continues in issue number 3, Relentless. Drawn and colored by Brian Milano and Brian Midnight. Written by Scott Payne and lettered by Janelle Brill. Relentless jumps right in from where we left off. The Thar must give it her all like you've never seen before to become this titan of humanity. But it could prove to be a bigger problem for a young heroine is Lieutenant Blake. As he waits for the right moment, he captures the dog for his twisted cyborg overlord, Thrax's Pride. Sword, strike, is a dark, unite for the first time, the gaming super team, the Crimson Flame. Plus, a bloody showdown in Ladderless. All this and more after 30 pages of relentless sci-fi action and suspense. Don't miss out on Chaotic Flux number 3, Relentless.
Bitchin'.
Yeah, yeah. I wish I could understand that what you were saying, because I have to read it to like follow it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's funny because like on some people's, it depends on your computer. I think like it sounds good on my end, and then by other people like that saying too. Like I can't really understand it, but on my next trailer too, like, I'm gonna do kind of the same style, but I'm gonna slow it down. Make sure you can hear the words better and fix the audio, make it a little higher, but try to balance it to where, hopefully it sounds good on everyone's audio equipment and not just mine. So yeah.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, everything's a learning curve. So
that's my little complaint. I hate having to read, subtitles. And I have to read the subtitles to figure out what the heck you're talking about.
But you can always change that. You can always do a version without like the voice harmonizer. Without that effect on your voice. I think maybe that's making it a little bit harder on the ear.
Yeah, I'll try that too.
It gets the job done. On, like you said, there's a learning curve. We're all learning as we're going along.
So give us a rundown for those who might be tuning in later and don't know what this is. What's up, El Gargoyle?
What up, El Gargoyle?
Man.
So give us a rundown of what Chaotic Flux is and what's going on in this book.
Okay. Chaotic Flux centers on a team called the Crimson Flame, who unite in the future to rid the world of these mutant abominations called Dread Fiends. And the Dread Fiends are a food source that was generated by humanity by splicing different animals together to create a new sustainable food source in this dark timeline where cataclysmic weather patterns are affecting the planet in a great way, as well as wars that are breaking out due to humanity fighting over still usable land masses where they can still grow crops and what have you. So they create this life form that starts out very docile, very easy to control, but they start to self-mutate and turn against humanity as they develop a insatiable appetite for human flesh to sustain their extreme metabolism. So the heroes decide to, well, they don't really decide, they're kind of pushed into it. They're forced into the situation where, either, to let these creatures wipe us all out or do something about it. So they take it upon themselves to be humanity's last hope. Giving it their all, pushing themselves to the absolute limit is a big part of the storyline. Pushing themselves in terms of their mental stability as well as their physical abilities and their powers. And issue 3 jumps in right where issue 2 leaves off, where Zatara is facing a new form or a new transformation of a Dread Fiend. The last 2 issues, it had eaten quite a bit, and it has an opportunity to transform in issue 2. And now we see that new transformation, that new form, and it's this kind of super mega version of a Dread Fiend. And she's really tested in this issue at the beginning to take out this new monster before it crushes her. And in the middle of the book as well, we get introduced. Well, not introduced. We see Soren and Strife again, who is an exosuit pilot and a AI mecha. That's Strife right there. You can see, and this is when these two and Zathara first meet up. Zathara is an alien hybrid who can form these crystal-like structures at will. She mainly uses that to make all types of melee weaponry to fight with. And these three will unite for the first time in this issue, meet up for the first time, and discover that they have this common goal where, there's the world's being taken over by these monsters, and someone's got to do something about it. And these guys have some unique gifts, so they start to form this team and take it upon themselves to save humanity. And the third act of this issue is so Zathara, when she's a child, you see her there. That's young Zathara. She's about 12 years old there, and she was raised in this military facility called Lateralus. And in this facility, the children, the hybrid children, are raised, protected by the military from an outside organization called the Order of the Purging Hand. This organization believes that anything not of Earth should be wiped out, should be eradicated. So, of course, they're after the children to take them out. They infiltrate the facility and start exterminating anyone that gets in their way to get to the children as well. And this third act, so from issue 1 on till now to issue 3, I've been fleshing out that backstory for her. And in issue 3 and Act 3 again, it gets into a very brutal, bloody, primitive type of battle that takes place between Zathara and these 4 Order of the Purging Hand soldiers, where she's tested a great deal in the third act. She's coming into her own, learning her abilities a great deal, and learning how to be a warrior, essentially. And it pushes her a great deal emotionally and physically in that third act. A lot of big surprises in this issue, especially in that third act. And if you're a fan of X-Men, if you're a fan of the Avengers, if you're a fan of Transformers, if you're a fan of twists and turns like in the Game of Thrones, if you're a fan of giant monsters like the mutant monsters in Resident Evil, then you're going to love Chaotic Flux. These are all elements that I love from different video games and movies and TV shows and other comic books, and I wanted to incorporate a lot of this all together in this really fun and exciting and surprising and oftentimes brutal way, because this comic pulls no punches. It just goes, and like the title of this one implies, it's pretty relentless. So I think people will love it. It's a wild ride. If you're into this kind of stories that just has a lot of crazy action, really cool world building, and interesting character dynamics and character growth, then you're definitely gonna like Chaotic Flux. And you can get issue 1 and 2 in this campaign. So if you missed out, that's no problem. You get all 3. And I'm going to continue to do that in campaigns as much as I can. Give people access to the previous issues as well, because I am planning it to be a pretty long series. It could be as many as 50 issues. I'm not sure exactly how long it's going to be yet, because I tend to write as I go. I get so when I'm sitting there thinking of a story for a certain issue, I get the overall idea, and I start writing out, the moments and stuff and connecting things. But sometimes there's stuff that on the fly, I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. So, I'll put that in there. So it could be, I'm thinking somewhere between 40 and 50 issues is what it's going to be.
Wow.
So
that's an epic.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely intended to be a big epic, sprawling, interconnected. Yeah, lots of fun stuff.
Well, let's look at your tiers here real fast. So,
guys, I apologize. I got to go.
All right.
But I will hopefully. Well, basically, I'm going to go hang out with my sleaze buddy. And sorry, folks, I'd rather hang out with an actual physical human being. It's for the sanity, damn it. Anyway, peace and love, everybody.
Last year.
Hey, take care, Brian.
Take it easy, Brian.
Take it easy.
Hey, everybody, check out Six Gun Gorilla, and if you haven't backed it yet, get yourself in on that.
Mm-hmm. It's a great looking book.
All right, so we got here your featured tier is the collector's package. What's in that?
The collector's package. You are able to get the standard version of the book signed, as well as a PDF. And in this campaign, I do metallic covers or chromium covers, I should say. Although I like to call them metallic because a lot of people call them metallic too. And I've been doing it ever since the first campaign, where I have a variant, a metallic variant. Well, this time I have 3 to choose from, and there's the original version, so it looks just like the artwork you're seeing there, the cover work, but in metallic. There's also a virgin variant, so that's going to be just the artwork, no branding or anything, no wording or anything. It's just the artwork on the cover, but in metallic. And then there's a virgin line art version, so it's just the line art with a silver background and just the line art in black and white, but it has a silver background. And actually these books the metallic has an iridescent effect to them. For those who may not know what that means, it changes color in the light. It does like a rainbow effect when you move it. And I think that's going to look great for all 3 covers, but especially that variant line art version with the silver background. I think it's going to really pop. But you also, so in that collector's package, you get to choose between which one of those 3 you want of the metallics. And then there's also a 6x10 art print of the cover. There's a 6x10 metallic art print, and then there's 2 character trading cards, one of the Super Dread Fiend, and then one of Lieutenant Vladik. Lieutenant Vladik is that crazy looking cyborg you see there on the cover. And I think that one also has the metallic cards. Yeah, so you get the standard cards, and then you get these 2 cards I just named, except they're a metallic print. So really good deal. Lots of great stuff in that package, and I think for a pretty good price. And I think the shipping on that one's like $12 US. So not too bad on that either. And then you can add on issue 1 and 2 as well to any of the tiers. So you can kind of customize in that way. Also, in this campaign, there's the hat that I'm wearing now. There's a T-shirt with the cover art on it, and there's also a face mask. And there's a variant shirt that is it's the line art on your shirt, and it's made to look like the artist drew the line art on your shirt. And you can add on any of those in the tiers as well. So again, you can mix and match. So if you just want to get the physical book of issue 3 and the hat, you can totally do that, or the T-shirt, or however you want to, mix and match. And then there's the issue 3 PDF. Again, you can add on the issue 1 and 2 PDFs if you like. And then unsigned version of the book. And then there's this one is you can get all 3 together. You don't have to add on. You can just get that whole package right there. All 3 issues for $11, which I think is a fantastic deal.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Mm-hmm. And then the signed version, and then I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
I'm just go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So then the signed version of issue 3, option. And then there's where you can choose your metallic cover if you just want the metallic cover version. And then all 3 chapters unsigned physical version, not the PDF. And there again, the cover option of metallic, but signed for $25. And this one you get the standard version of the book, the 6x10 standard print, and the 2 standard trading cards in the PDF.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And that one, if you just want the standard cover and then one of the metallic covers, that's what that deal's for right there.
Cool.
And this one is so all the fun metallic stuff that I named, except you still have to choose which cover you want, but you get the 2 metallic trading cards, metallic art print, and your choice of metallic cover. And then the first 3 chapters signed.
All right, 37. How'd you get to 37 on that?
I'm not really sure. My wife did the math on that, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember what she said.
Does she pay the bills too? Just curious.
Yeah, she does. Yep.
All right, so then you get the metallic variants package.
Yes. So this one, if you don't want to choose which metallic cover you want, you get all 3 of them and signed. So think it's a pretty good deal for $60. And then this one you get. So it's similar to the one above, the collectors, where you get your choice of metallic cover. You get the standard book. You get both versions of the trading cards, both art prints, PDF, and also a mask of Zathara versus Dreadfiends on the front of it in the Lightning Storm.
Okay.
And that artwork's from issue 1. And same thing I just named, except you get the campaign shirt.
Okay.
So all the other stuff, but with the shirt instead of the hat.
Same thing, but the hat instead here.
Yep.
And then this is just, what's the Flux Light?
So that's going to be the standard version of the book, and then the hat, mask, and T-shirt all together.
Okay. And then the Metallic Overload.
So this guy is one of my personal favorite, and this one is it's everything metallic. So all 3 metallic covers, the trading cards, the art print, all included.
Okay. And then the Chaotic Flux Metallic Light.
So pretty much same thing as that other one, except this one you could choose your metallic cover.
Okay. And then the Chaotic Flux.
So this is everything I named: hats, card, T-shirt, or hat, card, T-shirt, mask, trading cards, all the trading cards, both art prints. But you still have to choose which metallic cover you want out of the 3. And then the Granddaddy All or Nothing, that is everything that I named, so including all 3 metallic covers. But you get the hat, you get the mask, you get all the cards, you get all the trade, or all the art prints, the whole shebang.
Okay. And then the commissioned art.
Yep. The illustrator Brian Bolando will draw any cartoon or a comic book character of your choice. Hand drawn, traditional drawing, not digital, and signed, and then of course delivered to you.
All right. And then this one's
and
gone.
that includes the shipping too. So it's not $250 with shipping on top of it. The shipping is included in that price.
And then here's another one that's gone. The same thing. So, and then for we did show these a little earlier, but we'll show them again. There's the hat. There's the mask. There's the T-shirt, and then there's the line art T-shirt.
And I should mention too, if the campaign gets to 6,000, then that trading card we saw earlier of Strife, that's going to be going out to everyone who backs the book on the physical level. If it hits 6,000, and that's going to be an all metal card. Phoenix is teaming up with me to make that if we hit the 6,000. So hopefully we'll. But also I should mention as well, you just remind me too, the 10th. So 5 days from now, the 10th is the last day you will be able to get everything in this campaign except for the standard version of the books, issues 1 through 3, and the PDF, and then the Brian Bolando art print. Everything else will be gone to get, because it's just I'm doing that to make shipping a lot easier on our end, and producing the products, and because we really just wanted to make everything all at once and ship it all out to everybody. Whereas the standard version of the books, we're gonna have a huge pile of those anyway, because you can't print small quantities and make it affordable. But so if you want any of those things, the trading cards, the art prints, the metallic covers, and the hat, mask, and T-shirt, you definitely get in and out now. The 10th is going to be the last day you can get that stuff.
Fantastic. All right. Anything else that we should know?
No, I think that covers all of it.
All right. Well, let's give Ace here a chance to talk about his book.
Definitely.
The book, The Ace, Volume 1. Is at 59.05. That's really good. He's almost to 6K.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, we're only $95 away.
Let's start with
I like the number too. 169 backers. That's nice.
Did I restart it? What happened there?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think you restarted
Yep.
All I did was hit the escape button. All right.
I'm
anyway.
like, you did that much?
It's like so good. You have to play it twice. Shout out to Red for that.
So give us a rundown, Ace. What's the book about? What's for those who haven't heard?
Yeah, so the Ace Volume 1 is the story about a young man, David Diaz. He's just turned 21 years old. He's out of college. He's working a regular job at a small town, and he's trying to figure out what his purpose is for life. You know, he's got a big dreams, but he's kind of, things didn't really exactly go the way he wanted to earlier. And so now he's trying to figure out, what's next for him. And then one day that's sick. One day by happenstance, he sees a shooting star crash land on a park nearby. And he discovers there's something that gives him the ability to transform into an armored being that he ends up calling the Ace. And that ends up changing his entire life.
Go back a little bit, Sim. It's a little too close. Yeah, that's good.
When this alien body hunter, Akula, shows up at his front door looking to take the armor for himself. So that's the main pitch for the main story of the Ace Volume 1.
So let's take a look at some of the artwork here. You want to talk about some of these characters?
Yes, as you see, that's David right there, taking off the armor. You see his mom. You see some of delve a little bit into the origin when he finds the armor. That's, he's revealing himself to his mom, who has no idea what he's been up to for the last couple months. So the artist by Canales. I think this is some of the best work he's done. It's great to see him colored. Theo Gonzalez did the colors. Theo was the colorist for nice. Brutus. Yeah, he did a great job on this.
It was fun seeing Canales' art and colorful, after all the time. Because we're so used to seeing it black and white. I mean, it still looks good in black and white, but
it's nice but the color definitely makes it pop, Stuff like that panel, that ship right there at the bottom, which is beautiful. He completely designed that ship himself. Wow. That's cool. I just had a little note about Akula's ship flying by, and he came up with everything. The design, he came up with the little alien language, the little circles, all that stuff.
That's awesome.
It's I love that little small panel. He just put in so much detail and so much work into it. We also have an epilogue story by Sweens from Oddity. He does the colors and as long as the pencils and inks. It's like a sci-fi slant. Anybody who's seen his stuff for Oddity is completely different. This is a bit of a mystery piece. It's going to be revealed. Each issue is going to have an epilogue story. That's going to kind of, as you read each volume, the story will start being slowly pieced together. And eventually, after you get a good run, you'll kind of see it intertwined with the main story.
I really like that hologram effects there, too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he did a really great job. And this, I can't wait for people to see his work, his colors, everything. He went off on this. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, see the ship there, the design, all that cool stuff. Then we close with a little 4-page origin of Angelique. Angelique is going to be the main antagonist for Volume 2. So we give you a little teaser for her and some of her backstory. Actually, talking to Canales, we're ready to start on pages for volume 2 late May. So,
wow,
a couple weeks we'll start
awesome,
getting together and starting on volume 2.
Every time I see the girl with the pointed ears, it makes me think of Zelda.
Yeah, that's very much. I call this like a bit of a dark fairy tale. It just kind of plays. I love Hal's style, how comics did the art for this and the colors. Alan Alonso, tremendous artist. He's done Masquerade for Phil, Zayd Comics. Yeah, that's print Mike McMahon did. We're offering on the campaign.
Nice.
Beautiful, like kind of 90s. Mike's got a very 90s inspired style, so we kind of did that. Then you have the stretch goals.
That shark's awesome.
Yeah. We have a bunch of stickers by 6 a.m. Comics. They've all been unlocked. The trading card by Doodlebags has been unlocked. We unlocked 2 prints. So yeah, you're getting quite a bit for just backing
now's
the
a great
book.
time to get in, get all that stuff.
Get all this stuff right here for your backing. So very affordable.
Very cool.
Lots of cool stuff. I'm getting the prints and the stickers and everything being
I love that poster
too. I just ordered them, so see that. It's gonna be a lot of cool art, a lot of talented creators putting their own takes and giving their own little spin on the characters.
Badass.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I love those stickers. I can't wait.
See here, you have a lot of your tiers are sold out here.
We did a bunch of like sketch cards that have been sold out. We were very fortunate to get guys like Joe Ball, Michael Beacon, Brandon Diaz, Preston did a couple, like a bunch of those all sold out. I got those sitting on a table somewhere in my apartment. So
nice.
Those will be going out to backers.
All right. So tell us your feature tier, what this is here.
Yeah. So the feature tier for now is the Ace comic, the Mike McMahon print, and then you have the Akula metal print, which I just added to the campaign after it went in demand. We're going to be offering that until the end of the month. Very beautiful art by Omar Casanova. I actually have the full page in the update, the last update I did on the campaign for the art for Akula. Yeah.
And then you have just the comic book for 15.
Yeah. You have the comic book and the print. Decided to keep the Mike McMahon print available because I've done a lot of exclusive tiers that kind of run out on time, but I've decided to keep the comic and the print. I think they go well together, so we're going to keep that together. Then we have the metal print by itself. If you've already backed the book, you just want the metal print, you can snag that.
Okay.
You have the book and the metal print. Then we have 2 copies of the Ace and 2 of the Mike McMahon comic size prints. And at the bottom, you see we still have 9 pages of original art from the Ace by Canales. He sent those over from Spain. I have them sitting in a desk on my apartment. First come, first serve. So you'll get, once you back it, I'll send you some pictures of the pages that I have, and you'll be able to choose whichever one you like. So a lot of cool stuff on there. Canales, there's not a lot of his original artwork actually out being offered in his campaign, so this is very rare. So if you're a big fan of Canales, definitely jump on that. It's very affordable. You'll be able to get yourself a nice little exclusive piece that you can get framed up and next to your book. So.
Well, original art at $125, that's a great deal. And then you have a lot of good, you got a lot of good options here for people that want to give it a taste test or want to keep adding on to what they bought. That's awesome. So what can you tell us about this that will hit the sale for somebody?
Like I said, everybody, maybe people know, maybe they don't know a little bit about my background, but I grew up on early 90s Marvel comics. They hold a very special place in my heart. Comics like X-Men, Spider-Man, big influence on me is a comic book Darkhawk. So it's very much inspired by those kind of comics and comics that I don't believe anybody has really done for almost 20 years now, really. I mean, like every once in a while they'll attempt something, but they never go with the full backing like they used to back in those days. Like they used to really go all in. So this is kind of harkens back to that kind of a style of comic book, that this kind of these kind of weird, different heroes. It's not the typical, ultra good looking, kind of like, stereotypical. This is a young kid who kind of lives in a real world without any superheroes or superpowers, or that he doesn't know of. He basically lives in a normal existence, and then this fantastic thing happens, and Akula shows up at his front door, and now he has to deal with the consequences of him discovering the rest of the universe. And there's a lot of things that I have planned. I want to put one of these out a year, so I have a lot of, like I said, script for volume 2 is already done. I'm starting work on it in May, and I'm dedicated, man. As long as these fund, and I'll keep putting them out. I have a lot of fun stories and ideas, some cool art. Like I said, I want to bring back that kind of classic storytelling, of a guy finding his purpose, underneath the giant shark creature, underneath like the beautiful red-haired winged women warriors, all that fun stuff. In the end, this is about this young guy trying to figure out, what his purpose is in life, and underneath this great kind of sci-fi superhero kind of aesthetic. So, yeah.
Well, we definitely want to see this thing get to the place you need it to be. You're only $95 away from the 6K. You should be able to reach that before long. Yeah. Just keep plugging away at it. That's anything else you want to say?
Yeah, just progress report. Like I said, I'm already starting to order some supplies and stuff. I already got some mailers. I already got ordering some top loaders. Ordering some of the prints and stuff. So little by little, everything's coming together right now. I'm just working on the print file, trying to get that right. But, like I said, it's the process is starting. All the art, I'm not waiting on anything. All the art's done. Everything is done. Like I'm not waiting on anything. It's just about kind of getting the files correct, because that's a whole nother learning process. You send the files over, you think everything is right. Like I was trying to order some trading cards for Primo Print. And it's just like it's been a nightmare. They keep sending them files. They're like, no, the DPI needs to change on this, and you're like, all right, you make the changes. And like, no, now the file's too small. I'm just like,
yeah, they'll give you a template. You have to line it up perfectly with a template and stuff, and you gotta have the excess on the outside. Just like it's I hate that shit.
It's hilarious. Like the stuff that you think like, all right, I've done all the heavy lifting. This should go smoothly. You're like, that's another headache you got to deal with. But that's why we gave ourselves some lead time, so we make sure so everything's on point and on track right now. So yeah,
very nice.
Check it out.
Fantastic. So Sim, you want to give us a Natverse update?
Natverse update? Yeah, we passed the 7,500. I don't know why.
Perfect.
And so it unlocks the 6 a.m. stickers. And right now, I'm just waiting on the colors. Right now, Beacon's coloring the Rose story. And Scotsman's finishing the last 4 pages of the Nat and Zed. And then after that, he's attacking the first Nat story. So we're aiming to be able to at least go to print by mid or the end of the month. So
awesome. me, you, and Edwin are all just kind of. We'll be releasing our book in about a month, and
yeah, it's about the same thing for the other book. I'm helping finish like Out on Night.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. I am thinking that we can call it a show. I'm not feeling real great. I had the vaccine yesterday, shot, and it's I have been feeling kind of sick and really sluggish and out of it today. So, so excuse me, everybody, for being on my worst behavior, and we will see you next week on Indie Comics Interviews. Back these books, you won't be disappointed, and we will see you next time.